What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. I know we're still a little bit sour about Saturday night's performance against Texas A&M. But you know what, Brandon? It's a new week. We got Middle Tennessee State up. It should be a walkthrough. Hopefully, you never know with the Canes. But man, we can't start this show without talking about your perspective about the Miami Hurricanes. You know performance against Texas A&M. We came up short, but is there light at the end of the tunnel, Brandon? The people want to know.
Yes. It's a very, very bright light. And by the way, I don't smoke, bro. My eyes always like this. All right, but look, before we even get there, listen, we got to talk about Texas A&M Stadium, man. Bro, listen, I'm at the game, and I actually got invited to go out and go down on the field, and I was like, nah, because I actually wanted to see what it's like to be in the stands for once. And Texas A&M is amazing, man. The stadium is amazing. It was like 107,000, and when I tell you, it's nothing like a college atmosphere. Like, it's different on the field. On the field, you know what I mean? You look up there, you see it, you know what I mean? You really could kind of tone it out, you really don't pay attention. But, Paul, I'm talking about everybody in the stadium that was a Texas A&M fan had a white towel and all swinging it at one time. All you see is white towels flowing around. Then all of them like bend down, get on their knees, and they chant out. They were saying like TNMC. I don't know what TNMC mean, but listen. And then they'll say something like "fuck the Canes," like all together at once, and that shit was ridiculous, dog. Listen, I'm talking about. It was amazing. Like, honestly, one of the highlights of the trip was actually going and watching the atmosphere, and that was ridiculous.
I wish we had that, Brandon. I know it's always been tough at Miami for attendance purposes unless it's a big game. But I do wish we kind of had a home field advantage for most of our games because as you've seen lately and just historically, we don't really have a home field advantage. It's not a hostile environment like a Texas A&M or a traditional college town, where even for a typical non-conference game, cupcake matchup in the conference play, we're not going to sell out. We're not going to even have close to 80% full of our stadium.
I agree. But so I was sitting right next to the student section.
Oh wow!
So where the Canes was going in and out at, the student section was like directly up to the left. And I'm talking about, they throwing the U down, they telling people they suck. I'm like, oh my God, like my heart was beating fast. I'm like, yo, I'm getting ready to play, yo. I felt like I wanted to go down there and scrap up because that thing was ridiculous, man.
Well, I'm glad you had a great time in College Station. It is unfortunate we came up short, and honestly, Brandon, I thought we shot ourselves in the foot. We beat ourselves that game, and I'll say one thing. I think it was the third drive, Tyreek Stevenson, when he muffed the punt. I don't even think he muffed the punt. He let it bounce, and he just went after. I mean, it was just awful. It was awful. I thought that was the changing point in the game. That's when I said, this is how you lose football games against SEC opponents on the road with dumb mistakes like that. Because we're not Alabama, we're not Georgia or Ohio State. We cannot afford to make those mistakes as a program.
So this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is my, why we lost. For one, Geddes got tight.
Yeah, I agree.
That game remind me of the Michigan Ohio State games 2 years ago. He literally came out in the exact same formation 90% of the time, ran the exact same three plays. The route concepts wasn't there. Like we wasn't throwing people, we wasn't running plays to get people open. It was literally just it was like a it was like a walkthrough. Like you knew once they did it, that's what they was gonna do. Like it wasn't no like and granted, yeah, we dropped a lot of passes. Van Dyke was off. You know what I mean? Like it was, yes, it was we had all that. We had all that going wrong. We dropped the punt, yes. But the reason we lost the game ain't because of that. The reason we lost the game is because Geddes would get tight. Like we were averaging 5.5 yards a carry. We would literally run the ball all the way down and then completely change up what we doing and run something else. Like that made no sense to me.
We didn't take one shot in the end zone the entire game. I've never seen that. I've never seen that at all. Not take one shot. Set up a design play. Jump ball with your tight end. Fade routes. Give me something. And then he said they dropped back 8 in the red zone. Therefore, they can throw into the end zone.
It don't matter. We didn't try to.
Man, we never tried. Brandon, I think there was one drive in particular. We did it basically, I don't know if it was a read option. It was designed for Tyler Van Dyke as a quarterback keep. Tyler Van Dyke is not a running quarterback.
He's not.
At all. You had Knighton and Parrish moving the ball, even though we ran the ball 3 times in a row in that one drive. Why not? It's a higher percentage chance of getting in the end zone with Knight and Parrish, or maybe throwing Thad Franklin, who we didn't see at all against Texas A&M.
Yeah, he got one carry.
Just one.
Yeah, he got one. But honestly though, the special teams killed us. Yes, we got a punt block. We missed one. We muffed the punt. They muffed the punt and recovered it. Like it's a lot of things that you could go back and say, all right, look, man, like the game should have been 35-17. You know what I mean? It should have been. But like we got in the red zone, 6 times and came up with, 6 points.
I think we had 5 field goal attempts. 5 field goal attempts. If you have 5 field goal attempts in the game, that's not a good sign.
That's not.
That's not. We had 27 first downs and 0 points. It's been 22 years since a team has accomplished that stat. You know how many football games have been played in 22 years? That's awful. That's horrendous. And we're paying him too much for this.
I agree.
It needs to be fixed.
I agree. But you remember when we first got him and I asked you, I said, what has he done? And you told me, he's a great recruiter, he's had one of the best offenses, blah, blah, blah. And I told you, I said, every time they played Ohio State, he got tight. He did the exact same thing. Now, granted, let's rewind a little bit. Let's take a breath. You know what I mean? He could have been just moving to the personnel he had. You know what I mean? He knew like his receivers wasn't, top tier or wasn't game breakers or nothing like that. So he moved like that. So, we running crossing routes every play. When they sitting in cover 2, like crossing routes don't work in cover 2. Like, and it is just, it's certain things I seen us do. And then the offensive line played amazing.
They did. They played well.
They played amazing. Know what I mean? So I get it, and I'm with you. I'm with everybody. You know what I mean? Don't get down on the U for this loss. You know what I mean? And I do think we're gonna have a receiver that actually shows up and shows out eventually out of this group. But I just think we got young guys, and I think we need We need Geddes to focus on coordinator, and we need to go get CJ Johnson.
So I don't know Curtis Johnson.
Yes.
What's he up to now?
He just he's sitting at home in New Orleans chilling. We need to go get him. Because I have never seen somebody turn a group of receivers that wasn't supposed to be as good until what he did. I have seen him do it.
And the only explosive play I really saw was Jacoby George. He made one play where he got tripped up on
Yeah, he tried to jump over the dude.
yeah, and he got tripped up by it.
Yeah,
I thought he could have had it for 6. And guess what? Jacoby George is injured for the next 6 weeks, I believe.
he is. And to be honest with you, man, their corners wasn't like that. Like their corners wasn't like that. What they was doing was they was putting people into, they was playing a too high shell the whole game. They was saying, all right, look, we're gonna let you run the ball. You're gonna do what you do, but then when you get in the red zone, now that running, you either gonna have to come up with some other running plays, because them traps and all that, they don't work in the red area. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the zone read would have worked, and if it was, if we ran it more often, it would. But we don't practice that enough to have it as a go-to.
What do you think's going on with TVD? I mean, he hasn't looked the same the past 2 weeks. He looked uncomfortable the entire first half. Something's off,
I,
and I don't know what it is. And the thing that bothers me is that Coach Gaddis said he was the best quarterback in the nation. Yet, we never took any shots in the red zone. If you have the best quarterback, in your opinion, in the nation, why aren't you taking shots in the red zone? If you think you got Tom Brady, why aren't you giving him a chance to win the football game?
because you don't trust the players around him.
So
Like
he doesn't trust the receivers.
he trusts his running backs. That's why we run the ball 36 times a game. You know what I mean? We threw the ball 41 times. We ran the ball 36 times. Like Van Dyke was literally 21 for 41. You know what I mean? With 8 drops. So like I get it. And no, Van Dyke is not the problem. Like, granted, he hasn't played great. He hasn't looked great. But he's not the problem. Like, honestly, to be 100% honest with you, I don't really see a problem we have. I see coaches getting tight and not doing what they do.
All right. We are halfway through the show. The people want wings, wings, wings. Let's give them to them, Brandon.
Go for it.
Wings, wings, wings. The best chicken wings outside of the Orlando area off of 452 North Park Avenue, owned by Miami Hurricanes football legend himself, Brandon Meriweather. If you love chicken wings, you're going to love Wings, 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 owned by the man himself, NFL veteran, Brandon Meriweather. Got to check it out. Once again, Wings, Wings, Wings off of 452 North Park Avenue in Apopka, Florida.
All right, we are back. The Brandon Meriweather Show. Gotta love it, man.
Hey, Paul, I got a question.
Hit me.
This is just something somebody asked me this, and granted, I gave them the politically correct answer, but I just want to know what you think. Why is Stevenson back there?
Returning punts?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Didn't Keyshawn Smith look really good? I mean, it's Bethune-Cookman, but he took a 70-yard kickoff.
Yeah, that's kickoff, but punts and kickoff, the catching them is completely different.
I think in the eyes of the coaching staff, they wanted someone back there. In their heads, obviously this didn't happen in the game, for security purposes. They're like, look, we don't want someone to be a Devin Hester. In their eyes, they don't have a playmaker, returning punts who they can trust. They just want security. If it's a fair catch, fair catch. If you can make a 10-yard gain, 15-yard gain, great. But they don't I don't think they have someone back there that could return punts for them in their eyes. That they are, it's like a safety net. When the punt's off, okay, please, like they don't want to worry that they're going to muff the punt, which he did. But I think that's the reason why they have him returning punts as like a safety net per se. A player who's going to make smart decisions, but he failed to do that against Texas A&M.
Because I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Why Knighton ain't back there?
Who?
Knighton.
Knighton, yeah, that would be a great option.
Like, why he's not back there? Or Parrish. Why Parrish ain't back there?
I like Knighton more.
Me too.
like
Nah,
Knighton.
I'm just throwing out, like, even 12. Why 12 ain't back there?
Well, yeah.
Like the people who you design these plays for, them the people who should be back there.
I think Keyshawn Smith would be fair. Some people, Malik Curtis actually did really well in high school. He was a receiver.
What number he is?
He's 16. He hasn't done well as a cornerback yet, but people say he can play wide receiver at the next level.
So why he ain't a receiver?
Well, I don't. They're gonna need some help. We only have like 6 to 8 scholarship players at receiver, which is not good at all.
So what you telling me is Stevenson is the only person that on the team that could catch punts and be sure-handed?
In their eyes, I think. I mean, they didn't switch him after the muff punt.
Right, because that's one thing. So that's one thing I was actually proud of them for. Like when you take a guy out after a muff punt or something, or making a mistake, it kind of kills their morale and drive. Like if they would have took him out, he would have played terrible on defense too. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta gotta let people make mistakes so that they know that they could still be aggressive and still, you know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
So I get why they didn't take him out. My question is, why is he back there? Period. Like, because I ran in high school, I ran back 6 punts my senior year.
Right.
But we had somebody called Devin Hester who everybody knew was that guy. Like, why would I even want to go back there when I know, like, look, man, this guy could crib it at any time. Why do I even want to go back there? Like, okay, every now and then Hester done ran 1, 2, 3 back, and we back there and we up by 30 points. Okay, we playing against Bethune. Let me get back there, coach. You know what I mean? Let me get back there and catch one. Okay, cool.
What I think we should have done is experimented at punt return.
In the Bethune games and all that? Yeah, I agree.
Southern Miss, and now you got Middle Tennessee State. That's 3 opportunities to experiment. If you're up against a conference opponent by 28, it's like in the 4th quarter, the game's in the bag. Experiment.
I agree.
Experiment.
I agree. I just don't understand why he backed up, period. Like, I just don't get that.
And you know what's funny? I don't know if you remember this. Stevenson in the Southern Miss game, he got a pick in the end zone. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
He just stood there.
Yeah, I know. And they blowed it dead. I remember that.
He just stood in the end zone. Have you ever picked off a pass in the end zone, bringing it back to past experience?
Yeah, I done picked off several in the end zone.
So when you're coached in that situation, right? If the coach tells you, hey, if you pick off a pass in the end zone, what do they tell you?
Well, it's different for corners and safeties.
Okay.
Like safeties, when you pick the ball off, you normally pick the ball off in traffic. So coaches be like, yo, just get down unless you see open and then you go. Corners, I never heard a coach tell a corner to get down unless it's the end of the game. Like, ever. Like, yo, you pick it, we getting out of there. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no stopping. Ain't no chilling. No, let's go. But what I think happened with that play is that when he picked it, he took 1 step back. I think he thought he stepped out of bounds. So that's why he was chilling like, oh, I did. So I don't blame him for that because I thought he stepped out of bounds too. Until I seen the replay, I was like, oh, he should have cribbed that.
Yeah.
But and also another thing that happened on that play that never should have happened is that the ref blew it dead. Like even if he caught it and walked, the ref shouldn't have never blew that play dead.
But I think I think he stood there for a little bit for the ref to call it.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Like if a fumble on the ground and everybody run to their sideline, that play still alive. That ref ain't finna blow that dead. Like even if both teams literally went to the sideline, the ref would not, until somebody recovered that ball, the ref would not blow that dead. So he shouldn't have never blew that dead.
I think he could have easily, just as a veteran player, played in the SEC and in Miami. If you got a high football IQ, you know automatically you're taking a knee in the end zone or you're taking off. I think you should know that immediately.
Absolutely, but I honestly think he stepped out of bounds. So that's why like if you go back and watch the play, like when he caught it, he was falling back. And I think he stepped out of bounds. That's why he was like, yeah, and he didn't like catch it in. Because anytime if he was in the middle of the field, he would have caught that, he would have just ran. Because I think he stepped out of bounds. So when you so he was thinking, all right, well the play over, let me just chill. Like that's what I think he was thinking.
So, Brandon, I put the title of this show, Where Do We Go From Here? We shot ourselves in the foot. We beat ourselves against Texas A&M. Some people, the fan base, they're going after Gaddis. They want Tyler Van Dyke to get better. Where do we go from here? We have the O-line. Defense looks good. DJ Ivy played amazing. Corey Flagg stepping up.
Let me
the conference play soon.
All right, let me tell you and all the fans that's watching and everybody who watched this after this what I tell everybody else. It's gonna be growing pains. Like, yes, we got a great coach. Yes, he got a great staff around him. Yes, it's gonna be mistakes on coaches and players. But if us as Miami fans expect us to be Alabama overnight, like we're losing it. Like we're gonna make young team mistakes. We're gonna that's why we're not at now. If this was week 10 and we was making these same mistakes, I start saying, yo, we making the same mistakes we made in week 2. Like that ain't how good teams operate. Good teams start to get better. Like I'm gonna give, and I use this example after the game. Nick Saban went to Alabama his first year. Do anybody know what his record was?
7-6.
My point. You know what I mean? So you got to give and I told y'all, we gotta get Mario players in for one. For two, we gotta stop expecting Miami to just jump and be back. Cause we're not, you gotta go through the growing pains. We're not a well-oiled machine yet. We're on the way. We're getting players. We're getting, the 5-star and the 4-star players now, yes. But we still gotta go through the growing pains. Regardless of how you want to look at it, we gotta go through the growing pains.
You Goldwire asked Brandon Paul, how many games do you guys see us winning?
I still see us winning 10.
That would be amazing.
So North Carolina game, our offense will score a lot of points that game. The problem is, will our defense stop them enough?
I think so.
So I'm not worried about that. VTech's terrible. Now, I'm gonna tell you the game that actually scares me, and I hate to say it, it's Florida State.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Florida State scares me.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And the thing with the reason Florida State scares me is not because they're so good. It's more because like we gonna have to score on offense, and we not gonna have Goodwin or what's the name there to do it, and we're gonna have to throw the ball to win.
George and Restrepo.
Yeah, we're not gonna have neither one of them, and we're gonna have to throw the ball to win.
I agree. Now they did lose their starting quarterback, Jordan Travis.
Oh, they lost him.
They got a new quarterback, Rodemaker. He actually made a really nice pass against
He actually looked good though. He actually looked good.
first
But
game. Yeah.
how long he out? How long that other quarterback out?
I don't know if it's been addressed yet, but he was in a walking boot after the game, and the injury looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. But I thought they were just taking him out just for because they already had the game in the bag.
No, they were in a dogfight. That was a close game the whole time.
I ain't watched the game. I just seen the highlights.
But it's going to be interesting how that Florida State game pans out. Luckily, we're going to be playing at home, but I mean, I can't. We can't lose to Florida State. I can't bear that this year. Any year, I think that's on the season goal. I don't care who the coach is. It's beating Florida State.
Right, but like I said, man, everybody is so like keen on Miami being back to where like we forget that like it's nobody ever that came in
Right.
won 10 15 I mean 10 12 games in their first season as his coach.
Larry
Nobody.
Coker?
Larry Coker actually was on the staff and he just walked in. Manny Diaz then, if you want to count that.
Manny Diaz, his first year as head coach.
He won like 10 games.
No, he went 6-7.
His first year?
Manny Diaz has never won 10 games at Miami now.
No, I thought his first year was
went-
that Mark Richt? Or was that Mark Richt?
Yeah, Mark Richt's first year he won 9 games.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. Like so like we gotta slow down, baby. We gotta slow down. We gotta give it time. But yes, I do think, and we got big corners. We got big corners, big physical corners. So everybody keep talking about the dude from Florida State, the tall dude. I'm like, yo, we got corners that can actually match up with him, and he's not fast.
Safeties are playing amazing. Cam Kitchens, he's making some open field tackles. 1-on-1. Best safety we have. James Williams, he's coming around. He's just, I feel like he needs to play closer to the box. I say it every week.
So what's wrong with I think his name Avant Williams or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. He got a little playing time against Texas A&M, but
He got hurt though.
he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was hurt. They say he got an undisclosed injury, and ain't nobody saying nothing about it.
Interesting. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, they say he got hurt.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look that up. But so I honestly, man, I just don't want people to expect us to be, Georgia. You know what I mean?
Kirby Smart went 7-5 his first year, I believe.
My point.
Takes time.
It
Now
do, but it do, but are we going to give time? You know what I mean?
100%.
That's where it comes in at. And honestly, I don't think Geddes is a bad coach at all. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think this game, I think he over prepared himself. Instead of just letting it flow, he over prepared himself, and he got locked in on what he do.
Coach Gaddis, that is an endorsed message by Brandon Meriweather. Get your shit together next weekend in conference play. Halfway through the show, we'll be right back on the Scoop and Meriweather show.
Brandon Meriweather, Miami Hurricanes legend, two-time NFL Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, and member of the only undefeated 2007 Patriots that went 18-0, historic NFL regular season record. Book Brandon Meriweather and other celebrity speakers at worldsportsalumni@gmail.com. That's worldsportsalumni@gmail.com. Or you can reach them at 702-941-4812 at worldsportsalumni.com, the world's largest pro athlete association. Have you been to aboutthefans.com? Some of the best quality apparel, stickers, and merchandise out there for University of Miami athletics. Owned by Stickers by AB. Use the discount code SCOOP on all orders and get a discount on every purchase you made and free shipping over any orders of $40. That's aboutthefans.com by Stickers by AB. Go check them out. Some of the best Miami Hurricanes athletics apparel, merchandise, and stickers out there on the market.
All right, we are back. The Scoop and Meriweather show halfway through. We got Canes football
Hey, Scoop.
Saturday.
Hey, Scoop. Hey,
Hit
Scoop.
me.
Hold on.
What were you going to say? Hit me.
Hold on, Scoop. Hold on. Listen. I just got a text message from a Florida State great named Spain. I want everybody to understand what I told Spain. I said, listen, because we got a bet that I told him Miami going to win by 14. And he said Florida State going to beat us. We betted $300 in nickels. I want him to pay me $300 in nickels. Florida State don't score over 10 points on us, period. And Big Spain, I know you're watching because you just texted me talking about it. So listen here. I'm telling you and all the fans right now, it ain't hiding it. We win by 14. Even if we got to run the ball 100 times, we're going to win by 14, one way or another. And get off my phone, fat boy. All right, we go ahead. Let's go ahead and get back to it.
Brandon, why do you want the money in nickels?
Because the money don't mean nothing. It's more that he got to go to the bank and get this out. I want him to actually spend his time to go get my money. For every time he do that and he carrying all that heavy money around, he gonna be thinking, man, Florida State let me down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I should have told him in pennies.
I mean, I didn't know. I thought that if you were a penny slots guy at the casino, I didn't know if that was your thing. You know?
No, I'm not. I just like people to waste their time.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, I just want to make sure. That's where all the old people hang out. The penny. Make sure.
No, I just like people to waste their time. All right, so, all right, now we got that out the way.
So, Middle Tennessee State week, we're down to 6 state wide receivers. I mean, I personally, I want to see the tight ends more involved, Brandon. I want to see Jaleel Skinner, a 5-star tight end. Some people say he can be moved to wide receiver. He should be utilized more. I'm not seeing it with Will Mallory. I don't think he moves the offense. The only way we throw the ball to him if he's open or if it's like a 3-yard pass. Really used for now. Elijah Royal actually made a good play.
Skinner, I don't think you're gonna see as much, just because I think they're trying to use this as a red shirt year for him so he could get bigger and stronger, faster, and he could actually. I told you they trying to bring him along like they did Kyle Pitts. You know, so no, I don't think you'll see him as much. But if we do, and another thing, Will Mallard is a great tight end. He's gonna be really good. Let's not get it twisted. The problem is Gaddis' offense does not cater to tight ends. It doesn't. And that's when that's why I said like we need to get more creative on offense. Like we need to put Mallory, like we went 3-by-1, 3 receivers on one side with Mallory on the backside, getting covered by a 5'10" corner. Like we need to find a way to big body him and put him on our back and run double moves on him with the tight end. Like we did, like they need to treat him like we treated Greg Olsen. Because honestly, that kind of who he remind me of. He just like he remind me of a Greg Olsen.
I'm not big on Mallory, but if that's what you say.
I am, and I'm big on Mallory because he could block. He got good hands, and he's mentally tough.
So, do you think I would like to see more 21 man personnel have Knighton and Parrish on the field at the same time? Would you rather have 21 man personnel or 12 man personnel with two tight ends more?
I would like to see both. Only reason I would want to see Knighton in the slot and be more of the speed option guy, you know what I mean? The speed sweep guy and Parrish to do all the little downhill running. Will still with, Mallory out there and all the blocking tight ends out there and still running the play actions. Because so what we need is that we need to get to a point where we can run 21 personnel and people stay in their base defense and make their linebackers have to cover our speed running backs. That's where you get the advantages at. Like the problem is, like, did you see one play where we had a mismatch last week? Better yet, a better question. Have you seen one play where we had a mismatch this season?
I'll be honest with you, man. No, like I haven't. I have
Right.
maybe on the other way, like the other team having a mismatch with us, because I thought Southern Miss's receiver Brownlee, we had no answer for.
So I was watching Ken Dorsey yesterday.
Oh yeah,
I was watching Ken Dorsey Monday. I was watching Ken Dorsey coordinate, and I was watching how he was, putting Diggs in positions to where, like, you have to, like, you putting Diggs on safeties with two-way goals. We have none of them plays. Like, we have none of them plays. Like, we have no plays where we actually set up mismatches with our receivers and safeties. We have no mismatches where we got our running backs. Like, the only play I seen was a mismatch when Parrish dropped that out route. Like, we got Parrish through the hole on the linebacker. He had a two-way goal. He broke out. What's the name hit him and he dropped it. That was the only play.
yeah.
And we ran that play once.
Brashard Smith's last play of the game is pretty wide open.
My point.
Yeah,
My point.
and he dropped it.
You're right. But so, like I said, I don't have a problem with Gaddis. I actually like him. I think he's a hell of a coach. But I want to see Gaddis go in the bag and pull some things out of the bag, man, because they say they holding plays back, and that was the game to let them plays out.
Yeah, I don't think he's holding plays back.
I don't either. I hate when people actually say that, period.
Yeah, I agree. I never agreed with that. Is you play to win the game. Stop.
But
Show you my whole
but
playbook. Stop us.
also what I also think again is that like we're also like what you see is what you get. Like we wanted them offenses. What you see is what you get.
Well, I think personally, moving forward, till they get this wide receiver thing figured out, someone steps up. I don't know who. I think we're going to be running the ball more than 30 times a game.
We all, and another reason they might be holding plays back is because we can't get everybody to learn them. If you can't get everybody to learn the plays, you can't run them.
Right. I agree. That's why Treppa was involved all the time.
So maybe that's maybe like I could give you a million scenarios. Like maybe TVD ain't the leader we think he is, where he calling receivers saying, "Hey man, look, everybody, we got a meeting after practice. All players, we want all the receivers, running backs in there, and we finna go over this, and we gonna teach it. We gonna make sure everybody know what y'all supposed to do at all times." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have no deep balls. We have no deep balls. We have no deep over the middles. We have no mismatches. We have no like tight end formation. We ran no screens. We do nothing that slows people down. Like when you play us, you're gonna run your defense and you're gonna play fast. It's nothing that makes you slow down at all.
All right. Let's move into a Q&A. You got one of the best Miami Hurricanes to ever play at the University of Miami. Got some questions. Go for it. Kylorian, Miami Kane asks, 0 shots in the end zone, unacceptable. At Josh Gaddis. I agree. I
Hold
agree.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I just read this. It said TVD is not what we think he is. He's not the quarterback we think he is either. Now that, my friend, excuse my language, is a damn lie. TVD has amazing arm. He makes great decisions. Now he does rush it sometimes, but TVD is exactly who we think he is. He's a first round quarterback talent. He's the talent of a first round quarterback. So let's stop getting that out there. Well, TVD ain't this. TVD ain't what we thought he was. That's not true. TVD is exactly who we thought he was, and he's exactly what we thought he is. It's just everybody has a couple bad games. Everybody do. I had him. You know, Ken Dorsey had bad games in college, so let's not get it twisted.
ETS asked Brandon, what do you think about Ivy's play? Seems like he was locking it down against A&M.
Ivy confidence is super high right now. Like he got a coach that believes in him. He got, he playing the way he want to play. He's not. He got a cornerback coach who's actually letting him be him, and he's not. He's not. They're not chastising him for mistakes. So, and he and right and just so we know, please, if TVD, I mean, if Ivy does something and gives up a touchdown or look like trash one play, please, everybody don't jump on his case. Let him make mistakes because he will be better. I promise. He will be better after that.
You go wire ass. Hey, fellas, with that being said, do you think NIL is playing a part in player-led practices like when you were there, Brandon?
No, no, NIL, if NIL is doing anything, they're getting people to play harder because everybody want the money. You know what I mean? Like when you go in there and play, you're gonna practice hard. You're gonna be like, yo, I got to be the best because this guy right here got this money and I feel like I'm better than him. So let me go ahead and put this work in so I can get this check. So I don't think NIL is doing anything about it.
James Welford asked, why aren't they sending Rashad Smith or Romello Brinson on deep ball to loosen up the defense?
Now that, my friends, I have no idea. I have no idea that because I would put Smith, I would put everybody we got on the team, every receiver we got on the team that runs a 4-3 or better out there at the same time and say go. You know what I mean? We gonna run some concepts and we gonna get this thing going. And I'm gonna have one player up underneath that could sauce them up. And if the deep balls ain't open, you throw that. That's what I would do. So I have no idea. I can't give you that answer.
All right, Brandon, what's your prediction? Middle Tennessee State, what you got?
Honestly, man, I really don't know nothing about Middle Tennessee State at all. Like I would I don't I wouldn't even watch them. Like if Miami went playing them, I wouldn't even know I don't know their colors. I don't know anything about Middle Tennessee State. Like so, I just feel like they fam you all over again.
So you think we're gonna blow them out? The spread's like 23.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll beat the brakes off them.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a slow start. I think fans are gonna get a little bit annoyed by the offense. You may hear some booing, some drop passes. I think we're gonna establish the run game and then slowly open up the offense, make some passes, make some big plays, and I think the defense creates a lot of turnovers. And I think we cover the spread 31-7, something of that aspect.
I like it. I like it, but I need us to start beating the brakes off people, man, because we need to get back in this top 15 era. We need to start beating the brakes off people.
I agree. Not conference games too.
Absolutely. They all conference games after this.
We get a bye week, and then we get North Carolina, who's beaten us for a long time.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 in a row, right?
It's been a while, yeah. And I can't stand North Carolina.
Yeah, me either. I might hate them more than I hate Florida State. Nah, I'm lying.
But yeah, it's North Carolina is always one of those games, man. Either it's a close game or they blow us out. It's rarely that we really dominate the game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
We don't
I
have
agree.
big.
But we there, man. We got it. We got it. We got a decent team, and I just don't want nobody to fall off Miami just because of Texas A&M. Like, let's not do that.
Listen. Let's hope for the best against Middle Tennessee State going into conference play, and hey, we win out, we beat Florida State, and we go into Clemson for a big game that night. So let's hope that's what happens. And man, let's wish the best for Coach Gaddis, this offense and TVD moving forward.
Man, Gaddis got this, man. I'm telling you, he just got a little shell shock real quick. You know what I mean? Because of the players he got around him. But we all right.
All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoys the game on Saturday. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Yes, sir.